Good day, everybody. Getting the show started here, getting the streamers streaming, getting the electrons moving up to that higher orbit to get you more excited about this great content we provide you every day. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great award-winning show with millions of viewers and all those types of great accolades. I could make up more, but they would just be lying to you all. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show today. This is where I would turn around and point to my co-host, Pedro Garcia. But Pedro is here in voice-only mode right now. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, Pedro Garcia.
What's up, my peoples? As Tom said, I am only here in voice at the moment, but it is about to get remedied here in just a few thousand quadrillion seconds.
Well, good. I moved my, as you can see, I'm still using my other mic because my main mic sucks. My soundboard had to move over here. And so now my earphone is over here and I keep hitting it, knocking it out of my ear. So I got to learn some new ways of doing things. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show today. We got a good show for you, as we have been all week. Still a little bit of the election theme going on, but really we're moving over into what we showed on the thumbnail here today. Bitcoin blasting off, Mr. Trump looking at the price going up, and it's not just blasting off. It went up as a result of the election and is hanging out up there for a while, not pulling back. But also, all the other cryptos are pumping right now, and Pedro's going to talk about that at length. And yesterday, I brought up a topic that I had figured out yesterday, and now all the other news people are figuring it out. Where'd the other 20 million votes go? In the last election, we had 150 million votes. 81 million for Mr. Biden and 71 million for Mr. Trump. Today, this election, we had 71 million for Mr. Trump and only 60-some million for Miss Harris. Where'd they all go? Where'd they all go, ladies and gentlemen? Don't know, do we? Anyways, listen to the Steven Crowder show earlier today, and which is a fantastic show. It's just great. It's just great. And he brought it up. He brought it up, too. He must have listened to our show, Pedro.
That's exactly what I thought.
Right. He must have listened to our show.
Exactly what I thought.
And he brought it up, and he had a nice graph that I'll try and bring up later, showing the vote totals for the past couple elections and how only the Biden vote in the last election got as many votes as that ever happened. And it's a total anomaly. It's not like it was building towards it. It's a total anomaly. It's made me rethink the concept that the 2020 election had some issues. Had some issues with all the mail-in vote stuffing and ballot box stuffing and all those types of things. Anyway, we're not here to promote conspiracy theories, even though we periodically bring them up. We're here to drink some coffee, talk crypto and what's going on in the news. And there's my friend, Pedro Garcia. He's brought his camera into... Oh, look at this. Apparently, Pedro's been to the store. He seems to have a new shirt.
It's funny. I was going through all my shirts and throwing out a bunch of ones that are like just not... I normally just buy cotton, but I was listening to the Rhonda Fitzpatrick podcast that she has, and she was just talking about how literally just our clothes, our blankets, everything is just filled with microplastics. So I started going through.
It's awful.
Yeah, like really bad. And I looked at one of like the nice soft blankets that I had, and I already knew it, but I just wanted to make. I knew it, but it wasn't something that was, put to the forefront of my thought process. And then so I looked at it, and I was like, that's got to go. So I went through and decided to kind of clear things out and check a couple things. And a bunch of my shirts I kind of just threw out because even just giving it to Goodwill, know what I'm saying?
Did you see? There's like a thing on X that goes around when people that talk about plastic in your clothes, and it showed a pair of jeans, just normal pair of Levi's that are 100% cotton.
Yeah.
And it showed them after they washed them like 1,000 times or whatever some massive number was in a durability test, and then they showed the same pair but that have the what us older gentlemen like, the stretchiness to it, and you're like, ooh, these are great, these stretches. And those 1,000 washes, it showed the cotton had degraded, but the plastic was still there, and you had like plastic astronaut pants. And I was like this. I was like, oh, great. Even in my jeans, can't have anything good. What's up, dudes? Derek B in the house. Thanks for coming up to us. Ka-ching.
What up, guys?
Crypto Mike in the house. Sup, dudes? Sup. J Crypto. Tom Sinkros. I know. I got the mic. I got it. I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
Or we could be like, I got the mic that goes.
It's karaoke. Pedro's gonna beatbox now.
Anyway, so it's interesting to see. Right now, I've been just following the House because obviously we kind of killed the Senate. Watching what's actually happening in the House of Representatives, and I'm going through all the numbers here. The last little bit, man, it's been really. I mean, it's honestly looking like we're gonna grab the House. I mean, as well. I mean, it's like a 51. The only close ones are up here, up in the Northeast. But even those, I mean, we have one here, man. That's in the Pennsylvania. It's where was it at? It's one of these is up, and it's like 51%. Like here it is, boom. Like 51%. We got 50%. So I think these are kind of a shoo-in. We're still waiting. But even then, if you look at Arizona, we look at like there's like 3 or 4. And California has again like 10 of them over there. Plus we have Alaska. So it's honestly looking like we are probably going to get the House here. So for more of a crypto-centric view. And I hate to say it, but I mean, Republicans are the ones who are pro-crypto. So I've got to side with pro-crypto. Republican.
In a weird sense of the way, too, they're also pro-banking reform.
Yes.
Usually you hear it's the Democrats and Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, it's like everything totally changed overnight. You know, the working man is now a Republican, and the elites are Democrat. Well, the elites have always been Democrats, but the general working man or general elitist are Democrats now. Pedro, I got to tell you, not to have too much, peeing on someone else's loss, but the internet is filled with those people making reactions.
Oh, dude,
crying. Oh my God. One lady said, "My daughter has fewer rights today than I did when I was her age. There's fewer rights," and I have to talk about this.
No,
because all of you need to understand the big picture. We always say zoom out. We say zoom out. One of the things is the president can't change the Constitution of the United States. Can't do it. He can slowly influence the courts by appointing justices, which Mr. Trump did. And those justices came around and overruled the Roe v. Wade decision. Yep. And it wasn't because Mr. Trump wanted to ban anything. They didn't do that. They didn't ban anything. All they did was send it back to the states. All right, now let's play this out here. 22 states had abortion bans. 22, okay, of some sort, outright or whatever. And 27 did not, or some combination. But we're gonna go with 27 and 22 there. 9 states have already rolled back their laws because they were old laws on the books that were never redone, or they were put in by a crazy evangelical legislature quickly, and then the voters via referendum pulled them back. So 22 minus 9 is 13. One state, Florida, just voted to keep the restrictions in place. So now we're down to only 12 states now have bans on abortion. And so all these people are saying, my rights are less, my rights are less. You have to live in one of those 12 states. And in those 12 states, many of them have referendums coming up on their state elections, which are not in sync with federal elections, to change their rules back to allow abortion. So what Mr. Trump did was, while a highly controversial topic, and Ms. Harris made this a centerpiece of her thing to get the women vote out, it didn't work. Didn't work for her because most people don't live in states that have these restrictions. And one of the big states that had that restriction, that used to be a swing state, Ohio, they just came out and said, look, our we voted too many of these right-wing guys into our legislature, church guys, we're sorry. But then they did a constitutional amendment on the vote to repeal that and to allow abortion. And it was like 80% of the vote was for it. And that's what happens when these things go to referendum. And so what he did, he said, look, this is not the power of the federal government. And it's right. That those rights to manage that type of stuff was never given to the federal government. It's a states' rights thing. He gave it back to them. They're dealing with it. And they're following public opinion, except for Florida, in getting rid of the bans. And so I had to say that I wanted everyone to big picture that. Because the internet now is filled with all these people crying, oh, the suicide prevention hotline had people on hold.
Literally.
They calling because it was, I'm not going to name the group for fear of YouTube retribution. But certain groups of people were calling so much thinking that their life was over and that Mr. Trump was bad. And as many people are pointing out, hey, remember, he was the president for 4 years and things weren't bad. Just nothing bad happened. And people are like, oh, really? He was the president already? Some people actually didn't know that. And in some universities, I got my list here, they canceled classes so they could take time and reflect in case you had to go to a safe space. Would you want to go to a university and pay a lot of money for an education in which your teacher might say, I'm canceling classes so you can reflect upon the horrible things that have happened? And not only that, I mean, maybe like when 9/11 happened that people did that, but during an election in which every single demographic, anyone the news people or anyone can make up, these people, these age group, this race, this orientation, this, every one of them, every single one, except white men, voted at a higher percentage for Mr. Trump, which is amazing. Even Jake Tapper, Jake Tapper on CNN? Mm-hmm. He was having John, the guy that does the maps on CNN, that awesome guy. Mm-hmm. I can't remember his name. And he had a map up of the U.S. saying, these are the places where Trump has gained percentages. And Jake is like, well, let's see the one for Ms. Harris. And he turns the map on and it's blank. And Jake Tapper goes, whoa.
So move along to
none? and he goes, no, not a single one. And you could see he wanted to say, oh shit, but he didn't.
Yeah. It
was amazing. So what the summary of my diatribe here at the beginning of the show is zoom out and look at the big picture. And if all of you people watching our show generally support crypto and support the things we're talking about supporting Mr. Trump simply from the finance perspective, you have people in your lives that are spewing weird shit. All you gotta do is say, look, the nation in every demographic, even in Hispanic women, black men, more black men voted for Trump than they did for Biden in the last election, which is amazing. It's so amazing.
Well, the biggest thing was literally the economy. We're worse off. I had somebody who actually hit me up and said, "Why would you vote for Trump?" And I go, let's just talk about the border. All right. I don't care much about really illegal immigrants coming in, but I'm talking the dangerous people. And he literally said, well, you can be hurt by most people because they have guns. And I said, just so you know, the Second Amendment was specifically for the government, not for the people. So if somebody wants to shoot me, they're going to shoot me regardless of them literally having a gun or not. Okay, they're going to do it. That's just how it is. They're going to find a way to get a gun.
Roland Rod, welcome to the show.
And he sat there and I said, but if we just look at it from that perspective, we're seeing a lot more really hard criminal people coming over. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, but they could shoot you. They can get a gun. I go, again, Second Amendment was for the government to keep them in check, not for you and I. If they want to get a gun, they're going to get a gun. This is America. Look, there's so many
down the
gun
street corner in
reforms.
Chicago and get a Glock with a switch on it.
Yeah, or you can go to New York, who literally you can't even carry the bullets in the gun, let alone a complete gun, right? And there are gangbangers that are shooting people. Shot a major guy out there fighting for them, right? For the injustice. So I mean, we've seen this multiple times, and I go, that alone is why I would vote for Trump, because he's going to remove a lot of these harsh immigrants that are coming over. He didn't say he would go after every immigrant. He literally, and this is the part that frustrated me with Fox News, is what frustrated me with even a lot of these other central or even left, well, not many, but they never delineate between the two. And to me, I find that very frustrating. But anyways, but yeah, just that alone says, look, why would I sit there? I want to save family. I want my cousins, if I have kids and a daughter and a son, I want them to be able to be protected and safe. I don't want them to have to worry, right? And we've seen, it's just those little things I think is going to be just the safety of your family.
The fact that you're talking to people, Pedro, that don't understand how our government works.
Yeah.
And or how the rights are enumerated to the people. I mean, I can see if they're literally off the boat. Hey, I'm in from France. Our constitution's different. Or I just came here from Venezuela. How's it different? I get that. But someone who has gone to school here.
Yeah.
Well, that was another good point. They have the professors at all these schools are complaining about how the electorate is uneducated, and that's why they voted for Mr. Trump. And then the point is, well, you're the professor. What'd you do wrong? What'd you do wrong? Now it sounds like we're gloating, and I'm trying not to be a gloating, one of those right wing guys that's gloating. See, we told you so, because this could come back to haunt us. 2 years from now, people will be like, "We told you so. Something bad was going to happen." But the point is that to zoom out, look at what happened. It was an absolute smashing defeat, and the answer is why? Because the people rejected what's going on with the economy. They rejected woke. They rejected the crime, and they rejected the immigration thing. And Ms. Harris could not separate herself from Mr. Biden and say she was different, going to do something different. She literally said on The View, I wouldn't do anything different. Meanwhile, the whole more than half the country is going, you should have done a lot different. And so you zoom out, you tell all the people that are weeping in their coffee or in their lattes right now, look, life goes on. He was the president for 4 years. He tried to make things better. He made some mistakes. Now we're giving him a second shot, and hopefully it'll work out. And hopefully, for Pedro and I here, and all you viewers, the banking system will get fixed up here. It'll end up working with crypto. It will not be such a debt-based system anymore. Little debt's fine. The ability to go into debt is fine, and needed during certain periods, like during the cerveza sickness or during war or something like that. But it should not be your day-to-day thing. We got to live within our means. And get this Bitcoin rolling. And Pedro, that whole diatribe at the beginning was meant to lead us into the talk of the nation coalescing around one person in all demographics to bring hope. And what are we hoping for? Moon. The eagle has landed.
So
right.
let's go ahead and go into some price predictions that I think we could see potentially.
Price prediction. Oh man, I need those sound effects back.
All right, so I've talked about us hitting that $100,000 mark here.
Oh, sorry, Pedro. I forgot to do a few things here. I apologize for interrupting you. AI Alpha Wolf. You mentioned a meme to show Pedro. I don't remember what you're talking about. Good to see you, AI Alpha Wolf, coming in. We're with you, and always wanting to keep good projects going and not screwing other people. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Roland Rod in the house 24/7. Everyone is shopping crypto today. Yep. Roland Rod is Fuker. Fuke. I'm not going to say it. Yes, I was gloating a little bit. Anyway, sorry about that, Pedro. Head back to your price prediction thing, and if I had a sound effect thing, I would be right now going Pedro price prediction.
You know what? It's funny is I actually have a guy, the guy that I talked to, he's actually creating some music for it. So I actually need to reach back out to him and see where he's at on that stuff. So, and I said, there's a few things that we're looking for: intro, outro, some really good stuff, or some sound effects. And so that's one of the things I did kind of talk to him about. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. So let's look at right here. Like I was actually on the Breakfast Club today, and I told him, you know, I'm really bullish in this aspect. And one of the things I thought was really interesting there is I said, listen, we're now dealing with a situation crypto's never had to deal with, and that is an infinite system, right? Infinite growing circle now trying to fit into a very small, like finite system. And that system is going to grow like on a substantial base. And I'm looking forward to seeing as it grows. So with that said, I think we'll have a great Christmas rally. I think we'll see in the next 2 months here from November to December, a 100,000 Bitcoin. I'm expecting that. I'm seeing that. Right now, just from
100,000.
There we go. In 2 days, in 3 days, or 2.5 days, here we've gone from 67,000 to 76,000, and we're seeing volume pick up. We're not just seeing volume pick up in a sense where it's like we're seeing.
Monsieur, welcome to the show.
We're seeing volume pick up in a way that is steadily like going in, right? Like people aren't selling, and we're seeing people. And again, I always say we need the sellers to come in, right, so that buyers can step in and push it up. So with that said, they're going to have to create some sell pressure, which is the institutions where they're going to have to put a sell off here. But those sell offs are going to be opportunities for us as people who are crypto buyers to be looking to be pulling back. So I've talked to people, 3 price points we want to be looking at, right? 1 is the 50 period moving average. 2 is going to be the 100, which is the yellow. And then 3 is going to be the 200-day period moving average, which is the pink here. So we should see as we start to rally, because there's not going to be enough sellers coming in, that we will see a drop. Do not freak out. Those are opportunities to buy. We may see maybe like 1 or 2 days sell off big, get people to sell their positions, and then from there, we'll see a turnaround and push back up. Maybe even a week at the most. But overall, we should see great push up here in Bitcoin. Like I said, each time we go up, I'm going to point out certain areas that we could be looking to buy. One is definitely the 73 to 72,000 area, which is right here. A little pullback we could get. Also, we can get out at this level here, which is going to be that 67,000. Now, typically what we're going to be looking at is sell-offs during the beginning of the week, majority of the time. Okay, so we want to be looking maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday sell-offs down to areas that we're looking to be buying in. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and potentially Saturday, big pull-up. Sunday, we should see a consolidation, maybe a start of a sell-off again. But that's typically what we're going to be looking at. I'm saying this now so that you guys will understand when I'm saying, all right, guys, look for the pullback here. Let's go ahead and get in at these certain junction points. So these are really important areas. Right? It's pretty clear. I don't got to sit there and say, I hope the institutions are coming. We got $4 billion yesterday coming to the market. Okay. Like $4 billion. And that's a small
Billy.
Right. Oh, Billy. So let's check out Ethereum. Ethereum is skyrocketing. We talked about this yesterday. I expect us to push through these supply areas here. Actually, I just took them off here, so I don't even know why I had them. We talked about us pushing through those areas and coming and tapping that 200 period moving average, which is going to be that 29.61. I thought maybe we might see a bit of a sell-off potentially, but no, they are gangbusters. They are
fine.
Yeah, we're seeing it push through. They've talked about the Ethereum aspect of. They've talked about Ethereum ETFs fully getting just diversified and getting to a couple other things. And additionally to that, we're also seeing some really great movements in the market at large. And we're going to go into those things here in just in a few minutes. But I want to bring it back to Tom here real quick. Is there any news about maybe the last states that are actually happening in the House? Like, what do you know? Do we get any information or confirmation with Justin regarding those?
In fact, no. I put a message out to him this morning before the show if he could give us any info, but he didn't get back to me. Usually he gets back to me right away, which tells me he's in client meetings or busy, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
And I also tried to get him to come on the show, but he's like, it's a really busy time right after the election because he's still being, the clients are wanting to know either A, what went right and how can we duplicate it, or what went wrong and how can we plan for the future. Here's how you plan for the future. Don't piss everyone off with bad policies. How about that?
Sorry, that was funny.
I mean, imagine being me and hearing these people come in and say, we want to take your guns. It's gun safety. We want to take your guns. I'm an American. I've grown up with firearms. I live in Chicago. I carry a firearm legally wherever I go. It's something I'm used to. I was out, had dinner with my daughter last night. You think I'm not going to make sure that my daughter's safe whenever I'm with her? And do everything I can to make sure she's safe? Of course not. And they want to tell me that I can't carry a gun. But the guy that down the street that carjacked someone with a gun, with the switch on and a machine gun, which is a federal crime, they let him out of jail. They don't even give him, they just say show up for court, and they don't show up for court. And what does a carjacker do in between, arrests and court dates? Carjacks more people. He can't get a job. That is his job.
Literally.
Sells drugs, buys drugs, sells drugs, buys drugs, steals a car.
Also look at it like this. I think the idea of being able to bring real law into an area here, right, will push people outside. One, you may still have like the 50-50 that stay in the profession. But the other aspect is this, is as people start to see money inflow into businesses, and you can sit there and say, sooner or later, people always have come to Jesus moments, right? Where they look at the world and they go, do I want to continue in this? When I know, I always have to look over my shoulder. I'm always looking over my shoulder. And now I'm like, I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? And so it's this idea of,
Pedro, you don't have to look over your shoulder because now you're a stud. you got your audience now. You got your bods getting in shape, doing pull-ups and push-ups. You're healthy.
No, that's
people walk down the street and avoid you. They're like, shit, look at that guy going. No, I'm crossing the street, man. You guys have got to see Pedro walk. He walks down the sidewalk with authority, like you could say. I was waiting for him to come out of a parking garage, and it was dark, and I'm like, there he is, and because it's this apparition that comes down the sidewalk, like, get out of my way, or I'm going to break all the bones in your body. Thinking about something
really
here.
Come off that way?
Well, you're focused on that walk. You're thinking about something, but to the outside, it looks like, don't get in that. It's like he doesn't even see you, so if you're in the way, he's not going to move to the side, even though he's very nice and does move to the side for people. It just has that look like, bam, 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 and you're like, I'm going to cross the street.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
You're not going to get jacked.
I didn't know that. I always try to come off pleasant. Like if you're right, I am always thinking. And I do have like a resting a-hole face when I'm thinking, and I'm thinking a lot. So like I've had people literally come up and go, dude, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Even like at church, I was talking to a guy who was literally, and we were talking, and I go, yeah, I got that issue too. And he goes, dude, people think I'm a murderer. I'm like, no, I just got like, I'm always thinking. And he goes, you're right. And it's just like, so, oh man, wow. Well, what I meant is I'm talking about the guy who is out there. Bonjour, senor. ¿Qué pasa?
Actually, Pedro's not tall. He's not tall. No. I'm not tall, and we're about the same height.
Yeah. I'm 5'10". We're at 5'10".
Yeah.
5'10". 5.
I've actually shrunk about a half inch now.
All right, yeah, we're old. That's how it happens. So 5'10", 5'11". I'm about 5'10", just barefoot. I'm on 5'11" because of.
And wait till you see these feet. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, I've got very thick.
God forbid, why this guy didn't go to a life of MMA? I don't know. He talks about the life being in ballet. They probably looked at you like, what the?
Well, I used to be I was very agile on my feet. I still am. Like, I probably, honestly, I got into MMA. I very much was, I was a striker. I could kick. And I literally have calves. I
can't test that.
And let me see. Oh no, they're that big. Yeah. Anyways, I say this because, like, I'm a very thick man. Except that, dude, why are we? I was talking about basically people that now can really have a lot of opportunity in the inner city. That I think, because we saw a lot of money come into the inner city to really propose for business and push things in the Trump administration. So it's like, I look at it like this. Yes, dude, I am so trying to make a point here, dude.
Sorry,
Oh,
everyone.
You're killing me, Smiles.
Pedro's killing me. Pedro's apparently a very thick man. Got a life in porn after this.
Man, I'm a grower, not a sure. I'm just saying, hey, you know, what are we doing here, dude? Oh my goodness. Okay, I was actually good. All right. So my biggest key I wanted to talk about here is that when we're looking at the markets, right? Look, if you're in a life of crime, or if you're in a life, you have an opportunity right now to, like, if you haven't even if you have messed up your life, okay, there is nothing like I've seen more great entrepreneurs who were criminals, absolutely criminals, and they changed just their mindset, meaning from going and running a drug infested world that they live in, okay, because you know I don't live in a drug infested world. I don't deal with narcissists and psychopaths, right? I used to in the past, back in the day, but you know what, as soon as I noticed, I was like, nope, it's time to go this way. And you take that same energy and you apply it into just the regular work and use your genius in your marketing skills and your people skills as a drug dealer or any other skill set in those nefarious, you will prosper, because you have skill sets that the average businessman doesn't have. And your way of thinking, the way you see things, you do. And so I just want to encourage, like, if you guys want to take a soundbite here and just send it out there and try to make it viral, take that and make that viral, because with the policies that will most likely come because of what Trump wants to do, you will be able to succeed. And as much as you want, whether you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, even if you're an illegal immigrant, there's going to be so much money flowing into America that you can make things happen and then send money back home, right? Because there's going to be a lot of money coming back into America. So it's just, I want to encourage people, get out there, work. This is the time, right? And really make things happen. If you're a businessman, if you're a man to make money, if you're a woman who's an entrepreneur who wants to make money, if you don't know what you are, okay, but you want to make money, all right, if you're ultra woke, okay, cool, go make some money and do some dope stuff. The best way to get out of depression is to do things. So
100%.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm preaching over here. Forgive me, guys. I don't mean to be preaching over here. I feel like I'm being way kind of a jerk here. Forgive me.
That's all right, Pedro. We all do this. We go on our tangents. Why the people love us. Lech Hugga on Kick. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and if you're here in MS13 or whatever, okay, you can walk away, go to another part of America, and make something that is good, right? Like, you can, you know, build.
Hey, Pedro,
really grow.
A new viewer, Lech Hugga, whatever, is saying Cardano is pumping.
Yes, we've talked about this. Absolutely. Cardano, Solana, they're all, dude, all of them. Like I remember I said this. I said, we're waiting for a decisive Trump win. If he wins, and it's very clear, and we've been talking about this for literally ad nauseum, right? Like, we talked about this sideways pattern for how long? How long do we right here, I think right here is when I really started saying, this was in March, where I said we're going to stay in the sideways pattern since March until we know when if Biden, here's the thing, if Biden started coming with real legislation, I think we potentially could have seen this big push as well, because at least people now have a runway to be able to walk or to fly off of, right? Without runway, or to walk, right? If you're a supermodel, boom, boom, however you want to see it. But moving forward is like, we just need it. And now we know with Trump, so everybody knows, okay, we got security there. We know that something's going to be coming, so we can work around and really push. And that's exactly what we're seeing, right? With BTC, with Cardano, with Doge, right? Doge is pumping. Boom. Yesterday, dude, it went up to our area, which was dope too. We were talking about that. I said, look, expected to come up into this area here, and then the pullback, and that's what we saw, right? It's kind of cool. In addition to that,
1 second, Pedro. Hey, lettuce. I can't Anyway, you're watching over on Kick. Thanks for joining us on Kick. We don't necessarily always monitor the feed there. If you want to join us on YouTube or Rumble, just go to either YouTube or Rumble and search DYOR Media, and you'll find our live stream there. Just works out better. AI Wolf says, "What's up, head of lettuce?" As you can tell, we're an interactive show here.
Very.
So we have a lot of fun. We bring you good information. Talk crypto, talk politics, talk regulation, talk whatever Pedro and my side tangents go off into. But we do it to educate and entertain. So we call it edutainment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The office is now going to be filled with crypto endorsers. You're damn right it is.
You know what? I would love it, man. But the key is we just got to do three things. We got to keep making sure we tell the truth, right? Tell the truth, give real, honest, real things at this nature, right? Like bringing you guys good information and truth, right? Two, we got to make sure that we make it somewhat entertainment. Oh, you've never heard of Rumble? Are you ready to rumble? Dude,
it's the website where everyone goes that get kicked off YouTube a long time ago. And so it started as a far right, and far left, but mostly far right. There's no actual far left entertainment. And now it's like a competitor to YouTube. And we get paid a lot more for
dude,
that.
I was going to say, dude, the fact is that I pay so much more. I cannot not see people really starting to go over there now. I mean, and it's going to be good.
Sorry, Pedro. I have a slight delay here. I keep interrupting you. Rumble, I think the Rumble app, unlike the YouTube app, if you're using a mobile device, will allow you to play it in the background. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe someone has to tell me that. If you're watching on a desktop, doesn't matter. But we sure like Rumble viewers because it's just a better platform than YouTube. And I'll just say that because we got 3,000 viewers over there the other day.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're right though. Cardano.
We'll go into
Pedro,
Cardano here.
To back up where we said, Cardano is having or had their annual meeting, and Cardano always pumps around then too. And they've been building. You see it from their people posting from Midnight's. What's Charles's company name? HKIO, something like that. Their Midnight protocol's coming out. They hired like crazy, and they said it's coming out. We're going to be doing blah, 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 all those things, and they're putting their money into it, and the products are going to start rolling out. And so it's at its lows. This is the time to buy ADA, and I don't mean like, oh, I'm going to wait for it to come back 10 cents. I have a feeling, knowing that group and how much money they've invested, that it's going to do well from a fundamental perspective, not a price predictor. It's just like their company is going to do well and make money, and thus Cardano will do well.
Absolutely.
Until there's some whale sells off $20 billion worth like an XRP.
Well, here's the thing though, like, so we hit our area here. We came down, tapped this area. Now, my only concern is that we didn't really put any demand wicks here, right? So for me, that is a symbol of me potentially a pullback here up into these levels here. So let's go ahead, and I want to talk about this. And when we come up into this 41 area here to the 44 or 41 to 40 area, expect a type of pullback. We have the 200-day period moving average. That's nothing to balk at. That is nothing to be playing around with. Look, it's like a Sugar Ray. Like, I'm not going to talk trash to Sugar Ray. He'll knock me out. So look, this is pretty tough here. It's going to have hard. We should see somewhat of a pullback. We have a zone at the 41 area here with the 200-day period moving average. We're coming to a peak. So expect some type of sell-off here, potentially coming back to that 35-cent area here to where you could get in at. I'm not trying to like talk against what you're saying, Tom, but the reality is this. I can see it's pulling back, right? then the fact that banks are involved with this and really looking to be taking part of this, I don't see a lot of demand wicks on the 5-minute. So I see expected to kind of pull back here once we hit this higher time frame, 41 to 40 cent area here. Now pull back, come in, stay profitable, and then you can see it move up higher from there for ADA. And it's a good area here too when I'm looking at it, right? Between that 37 to 35 cent area here. Let me go ahead and find a good zone for you guys. Let's go to your 1 hour. Let's find some at 11. Here we are, like this area right here.
Pedro, what I was referring to, not when you're talking about it pumping versus coming back, as you've taught us all very wisely, it always comes back.
Yeah.
It goes to go up, it needs to go down, it needs to go up. I'm just talking about from a fundamental long-term perspective.
Yeah.
When you zoom out on their chart, everyone believed in it, then they faded like normal. That's where the investment comes in now, and then the products start paying off, and it just turns right around and goes back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, agree. Absolutely. But this is a nice little area right here, guys. I would look maybe a good pullback to that 35 cent area here, and then see it potentially continue up. We also have this area right here that I was talking about.
Well, Pedro's figuring out, ladies and gentlemen, we got another episode of Swamp Creatures coming out tomorrow morning, all about crypto scams and the TD Bank. We talk about the crypto world being full of fraud and scams and all that, or malfeasance and stuff. But we always have to push back against that trope and say, look, the people in the crypto world learned these things from the banking community, and the banking community has much higher fines and penalties and scams going on than in crypto by a magnitude of 10 to 100x. And one of the things they talk about is TD Bank, which is short for Toronto Dominion Bank, which ended up buying a bank in the U.S. So they're here in the U.S. too. And they scammed people out of like, I don't know, $400 billion or something like that. I'm sorry, not back up. Actively had money laundering going on for $400 billion from drug cartels. And they also did not put AML onto I think the government said $14 trillion worth of trades in money in and out. And so they got the big fine. So the crypto swamp creatures are going to be talking about that tomorrow. Finally, they move on past the election. That'll be out. It's a nice 25-minute episode. Not too short, not too long. So swamp creatures tomorrow.
Are they going to talk about literally how the drug cartels are the ones who literally got 2008 up from where we were at to where we're at today? Whereas like banks literally went to the drug cartel and said, hey, we need you to fund us and help us out. Like no joke. Are they going to talk about that or no?
I mean, TD, they don't talk about the drug cartels in that manner. They just talk about TD not caring that branch managers weren't filtering clients to the point where they're sending emails to them. You got to shut that account down. Other branch managers are like, you can't do that, man. It's going to get you in trouble. And of course, as what happens in all these cases, the government ends up with all those emails, and then people start going to jail.
Yeah, there's a lot more there.
Troublesome ADA is dead. Look at the monthly and tell me if I'm wrong.
ADA?
Yeah, Cardano.
Yeah. I would right now we're hitting on the monthly the 8-period moving average, which is what I was talking about. How I do expect to see us kind of turn around here, but not like turn around as in like, okay, we're done. I mean, dude, it's barely the 7th of the month. We went down, we pushed up. We're just starting this. So what am I misunderstanding? What am I not hearing? What you're trying to
just say? All he said is look at the monthly chart.
Monthly chart. It looks like we're breaking out of this range base that we were sitting in. They could. I mean, we're probably going to hit this and see a bit of a sell-off. I'm not saying that it's not going to push. That's why I give you guys pullback position areas here. One being right here at the 36 area, the other one being that 35, the other one being at that 32 area. And I don't think we're going to come down and see 29 area. I would be shocked. But I think we're going to see a pullback here, and then continue up. What am I missing, Trumbull?
He just says zoom out on the monthly. Now, trouble is as you probably know, I speak more from the fundamental point of view, and I'm guessing you were listening to my point about that they're zero knowledge products and all this stuff that Midnight has been or HK has been working on are coming out. Is that a monthly chart? No, that's not a monthly chart.
That's a monthly chart. Excuse me, that's a daily. Forgive me.
Right. It's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the monthly. What am I not seeing?
It says J Crypto says we're at a monthly high on ADA, not seeing what he's seeing.
What type of chart are you using, bruh?
Bro.
I don't know. I mean, we look. I'm not saying that 8 is not there. I'm not saying that we're not coming up into an area of supply. Absolutely, right? But like I've said, the fundamental change in Trump coming into, like I've talked about, will change the fundamental aspect. We've been more on a downtrend, sideways pattern, consolidating. Right, where the institutions didn't necessarily know, so they've been hedging long and short, which they always do. But I believe from that moment, from last 2 nights ago, of his win and the declaration of today from the Kamala saying, "Okay, we're cool," that we're definitely going to see some real pumpage here. Now it will switch from a ask bid to bid ask. I've talked about this a number of times where they're looking now to really accumulate, to really push. They've been accumulating, but they're now going to probably see, because now we have a roadway. He's saying spread the chart out some, not so tight. Okay. I don't see it, bro. I don't know what you're seeing that I can't see. Here's the thing. Okay, I guess on a monthly chart, we have this zone potentially right here to right here.
J Crypto, that comment can go multiple ways. I am laughing at it. Come on.
What do you say? What do you say? I'm glad to see.
Said he likes it tight.
We'll leave that
chart.
one alone.
The chart.
I'm gonna keep it quiet. So like, here we go. The idea.
Troublesome says, what % gains to retake all-time high? A big.
Yeah. So if we look, all-time high, I believe, is $5 or $4. Excuse me. 309. We're sitting at 39 cents right now. Like, right? Like that's, and I think we're going to see all-time highs on many of these projects, if not an expansion from there. Right? Like I think Helium is going to, because once the institutions realize what Helium is really building, once they realize what H-bar is really building, once they truly like delve into what's actually going on in many of these coins, what Mana is doing, and real money starts to get into, and they already have the infrastructure. They just need more cash. You know, like when I was looking at Mana, I was looking at you know, I think there's going to be 2 big pushes. Right. One, I think we're going to see a lot of money go into the new space industry. I think Trump it'd be stupid for him not to push
massive money.
Why would he not throw tons of money into rockets that can jump onto asteroids where we can mine it and bring back into America? You know what I'm saying? I mean, why would he not?
Totally. I can't wait to see them figure that out. In fact, I've got my son working on that. It's the 7th grade high school. No, seriously, the 7th grade high school project was how to make rocket fuel from dirt. And you're going to need to do that to mine these things, just like in the the online multiplayer online game, Eve Online.
Yeah.
Send out the miners and they mine the asteroids and all that. We're going to be doing that soon. They'll say, the Telescope will say there's some big one coming around. It's going to be close to us in a year. Yeah. And they'll be like, we can tell from already it's full of gold, diamonds, other valuable stuff, lithium, unobtainium. And they'll be like, Elon will be like, let's send a rocket up there and bring part of it back.
Yeah. I actually think that's very plausible, extremely plausible. I think also on the back end, when we look at, we have that one that is all gold or whatever. I don't know. What do you mean?
Hey, Chuck Jansen, welcome to the house. Dr. J is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, brother? Also,
calling
shout out
from a very big red state, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, where the dun 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 dun. Sorry. Okay. All right. Shout out to our Rumble viewers over there. We're sitting at 5. Appreciate you guys so much. Love it if you guys can hit the heart button, or not the heart button, but that thumbs up button. That does help. It helps the algorithm, help us quite a bit. We're really trying to grow what's actually what we're doing over at Rumble over there. So, we got trouble right here in River City with the capital P that rhymes with. It's okay. Let's go.
It's troublesome when you do zoom out on that Cardano chart. You do want to fade it. I mean, it does. It does look like you're saying here, like most other shitcoin charts, down to the left over time, just compared to BC or even ETH at this point. And you're right. You're right about that. I'll give you that. Almost, ultimately, like currencies did, back in the day when banks used to issue them all, and there were zillions of them. Ultimately, these things are going to coalesce. Somebody's going to win the battle, and it's not going to be because of good marketing or good shilling or anything like that. It's going to be because it's cheap and fast and easy to use. And whichever one ends up like that will be the best for this. Another one will be the best for that, and everything else will be a shitcoin. And we had who was talking about that yesterday or 2 days ago? Colia was talking about how there's Bitcoin, and then there's everything else. And everything else will eventually go to zero, or be regulated out of existence because it's a security, or regulated out of the U.S. at least. And I somewhat agree with her on that. I mean, I somewhat agree with her on that, unless Mr. Trump puts the reformers in. If he puts the reformers in, then it's a whole different story. A different story. Put it in the basket with Litecoin. Get some Litecoin. We got to get T-shirts, man. I got to get the set up.
Dude, look, I know Zach over at the Breakfast Club is doing it. We have a few other, and listen, it can't hurt us to have a couple bucks, man. I mean, coming in so we can put into, like I said, I'm almost done with my couple of the other stuff that I have going on. So I think it would be, as for men, when you're feeling that unfreshed moment and your man boobs are all kind of sticky here. Your moves are getting sticky there. And you just have that unfresh feeling. Well, don't worry. Pedro's cologne, El Pedro, you put it on you. Not only do you smell great and fresh, but you also don't have to worry about your odor. It kind of pushes away. And that's because of a special blend brought to you by Pedro Garcia.
This is the entertainment you get here on the DYOR Media Network.
Or your moves.
Comfort with your moves.
Comfort. Hopefully, our friend, wouldn't it be so dope one day to actually have RFK on here and be like, dude, thank you. Like 4 years from now, like what you did with the reform for the food system and all of that dope stuff. Now my moves are now a chest. Thank you. Anyways, let's move forward. How's everybody doing out there?
Take my money. Take my money.
Lava Pedro.
Hold on, Pedro. I gotta take Pedro.
All right. So as he's talking over there, let's check into our some of the stuff we hear that we've been looking at. So one of the things that I'm kind of seeing, and everybody here knows that I look at, I am an owner of H&T. I am an owner of Gala. A lot of these other babies, right? I just been DCAing on many of these projects, right? going in, buying as they sell off at these lower points. Where I've given you guys areas where to buy in, right? We talked about back in the day us hitting that 1,000. Back here, we talked about us hitting the 600, right? With Shiba Inu. And here it came down into our area back here in June of 23, almost a year and a half ago when I first started, right? So many of us have gotten in at these dollar cost averaging periods, right? So right now, we're probably sitting decent, right, with our bags and what we're seeing here. But on the back end, I want to bring this up as we start to now progress higher and higher and higher, which I think we're going to see, like I said, major pushes up, regardless of whether we see these things be made into securities or not. We're going to see a big push up. So we're going to take part of that and watch it go up. And this is where we're looking to get in, right? Many pullbacks will be getting in, or even either taking profit, right? Based off of maybe legislation that occurs. But the key is I'm expecting to see what we're seeing here with Shiba Inu, Shibaru, Mr. Beast, Taylor Swift, Joe Rogan. All right, as all you guys know, I'm hitting all of the keywords over there that me and Tom typically hit. But I think one of the things that I do expect us to see is when we start to have these pullbacks here, to take advantage of them as we are progressing. Okay, so one of the things I also want to highlight, and where was it? I've talked about cake. I know it's kind of a long dead and gone, but I think if we can take part of this as a meme coin push, right? Because remember, this thing got up to almost $45, I believe. Was it 45? 47. That's what it was. And we're sitting at a level here. I'm not telling you to put everything in there, but as a meme coin play, a 50x over this bull run would be nice, right? I know I have cake, and I think just being able to get into it, expected to kind of push up. When we talked about it hitting this level here as it was coming up, I said, all right, looks like it's going back up. So if you guys bought in at these levels here, someone to bring up, it was Mana, not Lunic, but I just want to see what's going on with this. They did hit our area right here. Now it's still crazy that these guys are still in this to win it. It's just crazy, right? Like Lunic is still here. Only in crypto, right? What it'd be interesting to see a comeback with Lunic, right? Like, wouldn't that be crazy, Tom? Like, we saw something of that nature.
Totally crazy.
I mean, like talk about a comeback, right? Like, get back to potentially all-time highs up here. I mean, that's almost worth throwing like even $10 in that just to see potentially if this thing's able to run. Talk about a gamble, right?
Turn your $10 into $100. Welcome everyone on Rumble. Got a few more viewers over there.
All-time highs, bro. It would be 100x.
Yeah,
right.
It's not 100xing. There's too many people that are holding that leftover, like Ran. Lost $100 million on it. Who's got it?
Oh my goodness!
As soon as it moves up, he's just gonna, all right, it's worth $5,000 now. It's worth $10,000. I'm gonna take it and buy something new for $10,000.
100 million.
There's so many people.
He lost $100 million. Are you for real?
Yeah, it's on one of his videos. He said when he woke up after the crash, he realized that he had lost 8 figures.
Oh my goodness!
9 figures. 9 figures. Yeah.
Wow. Now I know why he's still working.
You're back on Kick there, Mr. Lettuce.
Well, it's good to have you. Oh my goodness.
He said he couldn't find us on Rumble. That's weird. Very strange. We've got people watching it. You can always find us on YouTube also, where most of the chat happens anyway. Anyway, welcome back to Kick. You can watch wherever you want.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. You're more than welcome. Just type in, if you are looking, type in DYOR, that's Delta Yankee Oscar Romeo Media Network, into the search bar on YouTube. You'll find us every time. Boom. And we're always typically, if I couldn't find y'all on Rumble. Oh, maybe Rumble. Let me check.
It works over there. I just tried it.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll just
Oh,
show you.
what country are you coming to us from?
Yeah. Here, guys, you can
Portugal.
see it right here. Right here. Look, this is it, brother. You can see it on the screen right here that
We
I have
can't see your
shared.
screen.
You should be able to see my screen. I'm watching you show my screen here while I'm there.
I was sorry. I was.
Oh, here we go. I saw good. It's all good. This right here. Look, just type that in right there. DYOR Media Network right here. And boom, there you go. Shout out to Kitty with Hat. You guys are religious about us over on Rumble. We appreciate every one of you guys that are over there. Please hit that heart, thumbs up, like button, and share it. That helps us out so much. Just as everybody knows, I do have a Kitten with Hat bag. We both do. So we're hoping to see that baby get going. If not, it is cool. But you guys are a pretty dope group over there. Those guys over Shogun and Vibes and all those other guys, you guys are building over there. And that, cool guy over there who wrote that article, he's a cool guy too. I'm partial to him just a bit. Anyways, a little self-promotion there. So sand, that's another one I was looking at. We hit this area here. I picked up some sand here as we were coming down here. I was hoping to see it come down a little bit further, but I think we're going to start seeing another untapped area. Watching what Meta is, I think Meta still wants to do the meetups that they want to do with it. I don't think they've let that. They called it Meta. They changed the name to Meta. So I think we will see Meta go through and create that. Well, remember, because at the time, metaverses were taking off, right? And then it kind of died because of the...
Name your company after a trend. Oh, the trend is down. So is our company name.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't put it like that, because on the back end, when we look at it, and I don't think it's a trend. I just think what happened is you weren't able to really get it up and running. But I would love to be able to jump into freaking Facebook and then catch up with somebody face to face who's putting on the goggles, them seeing me face to face. I mean, it was almost so like each other, that I think it was Joe Rogan and Zuckerberg that were on it, and they showed it, and it was as if like it was really him. He's like, dude, you look just like, and he actually reached out to him like, wow, like it was. And I think that is something that we will see here. I think, maybe not necessarily right now, but 3 years, 4 years, when this thing really starts to get up and go, I don't think it's beyond that. And I think many of these blockchain versions will definitely keep progressing and moving forward. We've seen it. Their video cards are definitely growing in that aspect. So it's going to be really interesting to really see the technology keep increasing. And I would still love to be able to connect with people, in the metaverse, be able to have little adventures, be like, oh, hello, yo, bro, let's go check this over here. Catch up with an old friend of mine, right, that I went to school with, or like, sit there and be like, dude, like, let's check this over. This is dope, right? I think that'd be a cool thing to do. Or why not?
Bro.
I'm all being ghetto over here, but imagine being able to sit down, take a shotgun out there, right, and be able to do like duck hunt type of thing, but like in real life, right? Like ping, right? Like ping, ping. We grew up in duck hunt. All you guys who had duck hunt growing up, what's up? Good to see you guys.
Anyway, Pedro, back to let's circle for some new viewers. Circle back. Beginning of the show, we talked a little bit about price prediction.
Yeah,
we don't usually do that. Because Pedro talks liquidity prediction. I think this is where the liquidity is in the market. So the price is going to come down here before it turns and goes that, because where the money is where the price goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading another tweet or post or whatever. It said, in order to get to $100,000 a token in Bitcoin, $380 billion needs to come into the market.
Nothing.
But yesterday,
4 billion.
I think 80 billion. It was not in ETFs. Just in the increase, the buying pressure. I'm getting my terms missed. I'm not referring to ETFs. I'm talking about the amount of Bitcoin bought versus sold yesterday. was 80 billion in the plus.
Transactional is what you're talking about. The transaction.
So 80
Between the
people
system.
took 80 billion of their dollars and added it to essentially the pool of Bitcoin, and it pumped the price up
From 95 to 76,000. Or excuse me, 69,000 to 76,000, which was.
So it's not, if 80 billion in dollars came in, it's not unreasonable
Right.
to have 380 billion. That's only 4.5 times more. Do that 4.5 times, and we have a $100,000 token. So I think it's a very valid price prediction to say that Bitcoin will hit that, or at least has the opportunity to do it now with optimism. The Fed's going to say something here at 2:00 today. Rates are coming down. Optimism is up. Trump.
Oh, that was another thing we were talking about. Sorry.
I went back and forth with someone on God, I don't even know which platform it was now. I said the point. Oh yeah, they were saying, oh, you can come on over here to Ireland. We got extra bedrooms for everyone that wants to escape the U.S. I said that's not how it works, buddy. I said we're making room over here for your businesses, and when the things get changed here, it's not going to be an adversarial relationship with the federal government anymore. It's going to be a partnership. And the federal government is going to go back to doing its job of aiding the American people, not being against them in so many ways. And so we're going to be laying the groundwork to say, in not just crypto, I'm talking about finance and every industry, including manufacturing, saying the U.S. is the place to do it. And we're going to do that by less regulation and less taxes.
Absolutely.
And in an environment that says, come on and innovate, we'll support you.
The money
and
that's going to
be. I think that's going to happen, and the money that'll come in then is just unbelievable.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see how much money is just going to come offshore that were once crypto exchanges are now going to be wanting to run here. I mean, you're already being taxed dramatically in Europe if you're a European crypto exchange. You're being hit pretty hard over in other places in the world. Oh, shoot, I forgot to. Give me one sec. Other places in the world, I just realized I forgot to plug my camera in. It's about to
die.
It's about to die. So it's just as my brain is trying to do a couple things at one time. So as we're seeing this market really start to progress, now we're just starting to see it, right? But all of that money is going to come into the United States. That's free money, like for us, because what happens is as money starts to flow into a country, then people spend that money. So small businesses.
Chuck, we have not looked at bond rates today.
Yeah, I wanted to. So we were
sure. Pedro will get to it.
Yeah, but in the same sense, one of the things that we were looking, or one of the things I want to bring up is as that money gets spent, small businesses are going to start popping up because people like to spend money. So you're going to see an avalanche of small businesses pick up. And if you're in another country, you want to either do a couple things. You want to make sure you're partnering away with the United States, right? So you can take part in that money being created. Right, this money is being lent, and new businesses are being developed. Right, that money needs to be lent out into and this was a good explanation of Kenyanism. Shoot, is that right? Kenyanism. What Coley was talking about, how we have a debt-based system. I'm jacking that off, dude. I'm just messing that all up. But in the same sense, that type of money that's going to be put into our system will progress. And if you're another person in another country, you're going to sit and be like, how do we take a part of that? Especially if you're part of the European Union or some other situation where you're favorable with the United States. It'd be silly for you not to do that. It'd just be silly. So it's just going to be really interesting to see the increase in volume. And again, we will keep move right next to me, bro. I got a big plot that you can hang out, pull right up, bro. And just as long as you help me pay, you're good. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a discount. It'll be good times. Anyways, can you hear me? I
put
can't
out
hear
a,
you.
oh, sorry, my mic was off. I can hear you, Pedro. Yeah, everyone can hear. I just put out a tweet that says, "Hey, Rumble Video, show us the love. Show us the love, everyone." If you're on Twitter right now, head over to the DYOR Media account or the Striking Balls account and like and do something or comment on the Rumble Video tweet. Every time we get their attention, they do something, and all of a sudden their viewers go up like crazy. And if we promote them, well, then they can promote us.
Yeah, they always do, and they're cool about it. They're definitely cool about it. We're always trying to grow that because one, they pay us well. I'm just saying, YouTube, love for you to pay as well too. And I know all of our guys here, if the YouTube keeps and actually, you know what, we want to say thank you because, we got a few new people who were watching us because of YouTube recommending us up on their live stuff. People were saying, "Oh, you popped up on my feed as a new person, so I want to check you out." So thank you, YouTube, for doing that as well. So we do appreciate that. But Rumble really pays us really well, very, very well. So we would love it if you could pay us that well, YouTube. So that would be cool.
Not gonna happen.
They got a bunch of stock people they need to pay. All right, so let's check out the 10-year here yield, 10 and 20-year yield here. We're seeing us actually starting to sell off to that weekly area here. I expect they're actually starting, so they pushed it up here over this last month. You can see we came from here up to here, and now we could see it pull back to, and I think they said they're talking about a 25 basis points drop, which would then drop it back down around the 4% area here. So, and that's where this weekly 8-period moving average, where we could see this thing typically come back here. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I'm really interested to also see what's going to happen at the auction, right? Especially that going forward here, are people going to want to buy our bonds potentially because it's a pro-market administration? And are we going to see businesses and hence basically other countries saying, "Hey, it'd be stupid for us not to buy if they're going to low rates, right? And their economy is going to start soaring again. It's silly not to buy their bonds."
And we saw that yesterday with the election, or I should say 2 days ago,
with the dollar.
The dollar got really strong again, or just
went up,
moved into a stronger position because the whole world said, "Oh, whew." And clearly, the emotional world was supporting Ms. Harris, but the practical and dollar-based world, or investment people, were supporting Mr. Trump because that's the market showed it. As soon as the election was called,
pretty clear.
I know it can't be more clear than that. And we always say ultimately things get sorted out because people vote with their wallet. It's always the number one reason. It's like in real estate: location, location, location. Everything else is the economy. And it can't get more obvious than that. And even when we had Colia on yesterday talking, or 2 days ago, talking about BRICS this, BRICS that, they control all this GDP and all that kind of crap. All of that is just crap. Sorry, Colia, but it's just crap.
She doesn't know.
First of all, most of their numbers are made up. And the world has to estimate their GDP because they don't have reliable numbers. Yeah. And two, all of their economies, in all of those economies, the number one transacted unit of measure, except in China, is the U.S. dollar. And where it's not number one, it's number two. But on all of the major transactions that are related to the economy and moving money around in the liquidity, it's based on the dollar. They have dollar reserves, and that's why the dollar is so ubiquitous and so liquid. And the world voted. I mean the U.S. voted in the election, and the world voted with their money.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to lower rates. They'll be able to, and they'll still be able to sell the bonds.
Well, here's the thing. It's not. People were afraid that America was declining in business and overall sentiment for growth, right? And we saw that with false numbers, right? And then revisions after 3 to 6 months, we kept seeing revisions being changed. And the world, they're not dumb. Even though the American people may forget and not look back, I kept talking about the revisions in the numbers. like where we would go back and we look at it and be like, hey, they're jacking these up. These aren't correct. Still fighting the Jeets. Kitten with hat. Kitten with hat, man. Keep fighting. You guys keep fighting. You guys keep plugging. Looking forward to seeing a moon.
Sorry, I was trying to grab those comments, but they're not coming up on my. The Rumble chat isn't coming up for some reason.
Awesome. I love.
Thanks for watching Kitten with Hat. And if you could do us a favor, maybe drop this link in one of the Kitten with Hat forums, something like that, get people to come on.
Oh,
obviously,
absolutely.
if you do that, Pedro will be inclined to bring the chart up and say where the liquidity is and where things are going with it.
Absolutely. So we have some really good experiences. So we'll definitely say, I think what we'll see is the last unemployment creation of job numbers were really, like, I think those were the real numbers. And I think those have been the real numbers for a while. But they finally gave up the ghost there. And they deployed the correct numbers because there's really no point to lying about it. It was very clear that Trump, I think, it was pretty clear that Trump was going to win with the early ballots and what was happening. So I think Biden was just like, yo, just release the correct numbers. It doesn't matter anymore. I mean, like, legit, and which was cool.
I know.
Like, it was cool because, one, it verified what I was saying, right? Of like, this isn't correct. Like, this is not correct. So, like, for me, it was cool to see, right? Because anybody who follows the numbers from a fundamental standpoint could see like something is off here. And if you want to know the people that I do follow, and I throw this out because I want people, not just me, but other people to bring stuff up. The euro dollar is a great. If you look up on YouTube, the euro dollar. Jeff Snyder is a great guy. Another guy
just as a little background, the euro dollar is a trading instrument that follows the amount of U.S. dollars that are outside the U.S. economy,
right,
the rest of the world. Yeah. And it's a big number. It's a big number, and it's a very liquid trading instrument. It used to be one of the largest ones traded on the exchange here in Chicago. It was one of the biggest trading pits because so much money went through those offshore dollars.
Trillions. I mean, trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. I mean, upwards of hundreds of trillions of dollars, or upwards of tens of trillions, if not up to $100 trillion. That things would be spent like daily, like going circulating. But the point of this is that as we're, so I'm gonna name him. One of the guys I do like. I wonder how he's gonna start doing his videos now that Trump's involved. Is he gonna say, the market's gonna keep on? But George Gammon, another good guy to go follow. He gives to the best of his ability sound advice. Those two, then from there you can splinter out because they're constantly naming people. You have Jason Fung, who they always talk about. You can check out. He was once a central bank main guy there, so you can check him out as well. But there's a lot of people you can go check out that will kind of give you a good analysis of the real numbers that are coming out. And you can sit there and realize, oh, Pedro wasn't just naming certain things. He was getting his information from here, but you could also do your own work, right? And make sure that it's real, right? And just don't take my word for it. Go read a book. Reading Rainbow. Anyway, so he would probably get very mad.
I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
All right. So let's check out bonds here real quick. I'm expecting us to see us come back down to this lower area here to that 40.
Hold on, I would say it's taking the screen just a second to follow you there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay. So, and did it go through? I just want to make sure. All right, guys. So you can see here that we're seeing a bit of a sell-off here today for the bonds. And again, I'm expecting to see it potentially come down to that 25 basis points, which is that yellow or the orange moving average, which is sitting about 422 area. So a nice little short here on the weekly and monthly chart. You guys can see that we are finding support on that 8 period on the monthly, and on the weekly we're finding support right here around that 4.07% there. So I expect some stopping port consolidation here. as we can potentially see either a drop through and or potentially a market where people maybe want to stay at that level. So we'll find out what happens here with our friend Mr. Powell. And he is going live at 2 o'clock. I think it's 2 o'clock, right?
That'd be in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say. Where's my...
Let me see if I can grab him on the...
Yeah. Yeah, actually, here, give me a second. I'm going to put myself on. Can't see me. All right, here we go.
Yeah, they got it right here, the Fed live feed.
Yep.
Oh, 2:30 they're going live.
I was going to say, it was a little bit different. I just forgot exactly. And so it's 2:30. But you can see here as the market is kind of, you can already see that it's already starting to move in those directions. It's really interesting to see that the dollar is actually doing a bit of a retrace here from yesterday's explosion. So it's going to be really interesting to see. It's finding support on that 8-period moving average here and kind of consolidating. So it sold off today. So I would expect to see this thing typically rally up then with the dollar. So good old Dixie be moving here. Excuse me. Thumbs in your guys' ear.
Where do I have that programmed here?
Oh, also, guys, do us a favor, real quick. We got 6 of you guys following us. I don't know if you guys hit the like button yet over on YouTube, but that always helps. I see that we do have 7, but we're always trying to rumble. Excuse me. What did I do? So now we're trying to. If you guys could hit those like buttons on Rumble, not YouTube. I'm so used to saying to YouTube. So now we're up to 9.
You could do it there too. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, jump over to YouTube. We're also on YouTube. That also helps us out quite a bit with the algorithm. All right, so as we're seeing here with the Dixie, you can see here that we are selling off. And I think a good area that we could potentially see it pull down to is that 50, or not the 50. We saw, that was really hard for me to say. The 50-period moving average and potentially coming back down to our gap area here to see it potentially push up at these levels. So let's go ahead to a gap area here. Boom. So this is an area. And if any of you guys follow Robert Dunn, you know, he talks about how the market is always trying to pull, or he's actually the late and great Robert Dunn. Always talks about how the market is always trying to pull back into those areas. Many of you guys who were a part of he was well known in the CME. A lot of people knew who he was as well. But yeah, I'd expect to see him potentially pull back to here and then maybe a push back up into the highs of today. So being ready for the Dixie to get played that way. Let's check out the 30-year bond, the ZB. ZB is seeing a bit of a push up into the early mornings, and now we're just kind of consolidating here. Expect a ZB. ZB is the 30-year. We'll go to the 10-year here in just a second, but I expect to see us kind of come back down in, where is it now? This area. We could see it pull back down into this area right here before we see it kind of push back up again. Give me 1 second. Give me the 11 o'clock. 8.
Alpha, on your thing you wrote 2:30 Central Standard Time. It's 2:30 Eastern Standard Time.
There we are. So I like this area right here. Our pullback down area here to the bonds are on the 30. We could see a pullback down into this level here, and then a rally out of this. And around this area, here we go, the daily, here we go. That daily level here, we could see it kind of come tap down, push up, and tap the 100, or excuse me, not the 100, the 8 period moving average as we start to see a potential rally.
What time frame is that chart? Daily?
This is the daily with the, I'm about to switch again, the 30-year bond.
No, I was just saying the gap down there.
Yeah.
Post-election.
Mm-hmm.
Another sign that the market says we think there's going to be stability and growth. Pushing those rates down.
Well, you would want to see a push up as rates go down. So remember, they're inverse of each other. So
I get those confused all the time. The
right.
Prices, yields, futures, rates, all that. I intertwine those phrases, those words all the time. But let me do it generically. That big gap down was the market voting that the election worked out better than planned.
Yeah.
Better than the media was going to tell us it was going to work out.
Yeah. Well, remember, she started off strong, right? Like, and so people kind of got freaked out. Was like, and remember, the market was moving. And, it was kind of neck and neck until about, what was it, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, East Coast time, and then we saw it just kind of start to really push ahead.
Well, the East Coast had all those New England states that for some reason are staying Democrat when they don't represent the people there. That party does not represent the people of New England. It's really weird. Anyway, not to get into that, but which guest was it was talking about the election? I think it might have been Caitlin Long. Okay, I lost my train of thought on that, but it was about this gap down here. The confidence in the markets that Mr. Trump is going to change things from the government being very adversarial to the markets,
to working with it,
innovation, and to that type of stuff, and that everything was just a scam and everything needed to be regulated. And Mr. Trump hopefully comes in, like I was saying earlier, Pedro comes in and says, "All right, we need reformers. Let's put these guys in charge and see what they can do to allow us to." Allow the economy to explode without needing government intervention. That's ultimately what needs to happen. Alpha says, slow day, dozing off. I'm tired out. Well, you're the hardest working man in crypto. Keep at it.
You are, man. Let's go over here real quick now. Let's check out our 10-year here. To the bonds here. Bonds, like you said, we saw a bit of a sell-off yesterday, but we're seeing an increase here today. So that's a good sign here, but we are below the 8 period moving average. We've pierced it a couple times here now, so I would expect to see us maybe potentially push up higher to the 111 area, pushing through the 8 period, and that would be up at that. Excuse me, I don't know, I got a burp. Forgive me. I am so sorry. So as you guys can see here, a sell-off throughout that month, came back up. So potentially we could see it push up higher. And we've got a good little base up here right now. So we could see it come down into the zone right here. And then see the 10-year note really push higher, potentially to the 119 area. Because we've traded through this area. We have a higher high, higher low. And then we also have these low or higher, it's higher high. We have higher lows. That was so hard for me to sit there and say. So right now we're creating that lower high, the higher low here, and we have higher highs here, as you can see. That was so hard for me to sit there and say, dude.
It was painful to listen to.
Look at that. Man, the outtakes one day on these are going to be hilarious. Okay, so you can see here, I'd expect to see us go higher again, and that's why I'm expecting us to hit this area right here. So, and then again, see it come back down.
Who's waiting for it, ladies and gentlemen? Who's waiting for it?
Oh yeah, and then we have, a happy person. Okay, So we'll leave this alone. Boom. All right. So that's where I'm looking at right now for that. We should hit some type of resistance when we come back and tap this area of the 116. But I do see us come up to that 119 area. It shall be fun. Fun had by all. Okay. So that's about it. We saw gold rebound again today, but we also saw the S&P 500 this week has been just strong as bull. It created all. It hit. I didn't realize it hit 6,000 today. That is okay. So here's the thing: as a day trader, you want to see the market expand because it makes it easier to make money as the market expands. Now, I was literally thinking that. I even told Tom off air. I said I think Kamala might win. I'm kind of nervous that she's going to win because he's towards once we got off and me and him, I started noticing the market going sideways, and it reminded me of the 2017 market. And I go, we're going sideways here. I'm feeling kind of nervous about this. And so I said to him, I said, watch this thing just turn around and push. And I said, if we see this thing sell off and she wins, we potentially could see it go down half of the value, right? Which would then take my trading range in half. But the reason I'm telling this story is as we continue to go higher and expand, I'm thinking about like if this hits 7,000, 8,000, my trading range would be 80 points. Like that you know what I'm saying? 80. That's a huge range. Like especially when it comes to the futures. Think about that. Back in 2008, we had 100-day movements, 80-day movements, and we thought that was nuts, right? I mean, absolutely crazy. And then on a daily basis, and the amount of money that would be generated for that expansion of the market is going to just be nuts, like absolutely nuts. A 7,000. I mean, I'll put it like this. Let me put it like this. For us, let's say next year we increase 15% in the market, 10%, 15, which I think is very, very small in compared to what Trump is going to do. I think we could see an expansion of like a 20% in the market, what we might see. Okay, with some of the technologies, with AI, and what we're seeing, what's going to happen with a lot of the agents that are looking to come on board, and that will actually help make work much more efficient, which allows us to get things done a lot better, right? A lot better. That doesn't work, right? Anyways,
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. And the reason I say that is the productivity that we're going to see in the money generation is going to need to be put in a couple places. One is going to be crypto. Two is going to be traditional finance and money going in, right? One will be, this is going to be kind of like you put your money back in the late 90s, early 2000 into tech, right? Hoping for a big expansion in 20 years. The other one's going to be
Mo better.
But then at the same in the same sense, right? Oh, by the way, thank you guys for over at Rumble. Appreciate you guys. We got 8 or 9 people there. Thank you. Please hit that thumbs up button. That helps us out quite a bit. Please hit the share button as well. We're really trying to grow over there, and we want to make things epic over there as well. So one of the things that we're doing is just doing more stuff for you guys. So let us know what you guys want with us. Communicate, talk with us. Jump back to what we're saying. So as the market is now expanding, okay, and we're starting to see a lot of money coming into this market, the amount of money they're going to make, it's just naturally going to expand. If Trump produces, let's say we go 20%, okay, we grow 20%. Do you understand? That's $1,000. That's 1,000 points in the market. Like literally, we hit 6,000. That'd be 1,200 points. That means by next year we could see a 7,200 S&P 500, and that would again expand my ability to make more money in the market. So to me, I'm just like it just is blowing my mind when I think about it. It's like people, you know.
Well, what's the DAO now compared to when I used to work on the futures exchange?
I was back.
It was I worked
90, right?
The crash of October in not 87 but 89.
Yeah, I was going to say 89.
In which it was under 1,000.
I can't even go back. Yeah. It was. I was going to say this was back when The market, I remember here, like the market moved, 10 points a day, 15 points a day at the most. Some days we move 3 points, right?
Right.
So it's like, it's crazy to think about like these movements here in comparative as we continue higher. Here's the thing, is there going to be a crash? I don't know. Like I literally thought we had to have a crash down here.
Where's the money going to go though? Where's it going to go? If they take, like, say there's some amazing financial news that everyone's just like, oh, it's terrible, and every organization says, let's reduce our exposure to stocks by 50%. But let's not be crazy like that. Let's just say 20%.
All right.
That's
they're not going to go into crypto.
Hundreds of trillions of dollars. Where's that?
They sit in cash. They sit in cash. They would just sit in cash and wait for
Where's
a bottom.
that cash going to come from?
The market. They would sell.
They'd sell. Right. They'd sell and turn it into cash. But all of a sudden, we're sitting on tons of cash now. What? I mean,
they put it into industry. They put it into business. You create more money, and that money creates more money, and then they put it back into the market. Got you.
Right.
Circle. All right. I was a little slow there,
just a circle.
Yeah. Good point.
Oh, let's see. CMMGR. What's up,
What's
DYOR Media?
up?
New Rumble user here. Thanks for joining the program.
Thank you.
We love it. We love you. Love you, Rumblers. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, guys.
Doing well for us. Make sure you click that like button, and I forget how you do it, but follow us.
Yep.
And
it's actually real simple.
Make sure the notifications work that we get when we go live.
Hit that right there. Here's the stuff right here. Hit that little follow. And then there you go. Hit the little heart like button. That helps us out so much. You don't even know. Thanks for showing up. I got all excited. I was like, CMMM Gar, what's up? What up, Gar? It's good to see you, bro. I don't even know who that is. I'm just saying, bro, just because how you doing though with that. You could be a girl or a boy, or maybe you don't even like have a gender.
The election went the other way. Remember? The election, we're done with that. Now we don't have to say
oh, snaps, what up? It's Dr. J.
Dr. J. Thank you
killing
very much,
us,
Dr. J.
Yo, that's actually correct. I didn't know you could do that. Yo, if y'all gonna drop money into it, drop money into Rumble. We'd appreciate that because again.
Thank you very much, Dr. J. Really appreciate it coming to us on the Rumble platform. That's our first. First. I didn't even know I had that enabled. Over there. And now I see the button down there. I see the $ button on the page. But anyway,
that's what I'm talking about.
If I had the super
super chat.
Why isn't it bringing it up on the screen? There it is. All right, the Rumble one doesn't bring it up like the YouTube one in making it big and gold and all that. Oh, wait,
actually,
I just got to get the right one.
Do we keep the full? Because I know that with YouTube they take out almost 50%, right? It's like almost. It's like dumb.
No, it's not 50%. From Super Chats, it's different, but I'll know soon enough. But anyway, as we always say, thanks to everybody
so much,
that
guys.
contributes to the show, to Pedro and I. As always, these amounts of money do add up over time and allow us to go over to Ibiza and do our thing over there, as I say. But no, really,
it goes to Ibiza. I'm still at home.
It goes to improve the product that we put out here. And more importantly, it shows the various platforms that people are interested in parting with their own hard-earned money to give it to us, which means that the content must be likable to them. So thank you very much. I bet you that goes a long way to the viewership on Rumble.
Yeah, I think so too.
Alpha Wolf says, China dude, Pedro, what are you on today? I told him before the show, I'm like, Pedro, how many cups of coffee have you had today?
Yo, dude, you don't understand.
He's like, I'm wired. I'm vibing. I'm wired. I'm dialed in. I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Listen, man, I've been working out, dude, again. So my energy level's picking up again. My body, dude, I'm up to doing about 20 plus pull-ups a day. On top of that, I'm doing my push-ups again. My energy level's picking up. Eating super healthy again. So it's like my body's feeling good, man. You guys don't know a full charged Pedro. Like back in the day when I literally used to run 3 miles, swim about, I would say 1,500 yards a day within a full body workout. And part of that full body workout was 135 pull-ups a day in a 2-hour period. No joke. Back in the day when I was like in the Coast Guard and Anyways, so y'all don't even know the energy level I can bring. So anyways, let's jump back here real quick. So a pullback into the S&P. Actually, this is not. This is this is S&P. I could see us coming back into this area right here. Good little expanse out. We hit the 6,000 area. Where will it pull back to? We could see it potentially pull back into that 5,700 area, and or potentially down into the 5,850 area. As the market is moving here, we're definitely seeing a lot of pullbacks. So we want to be mindful of that, right? Expansion out, pull back in, expansion out, pull back in, right? So that's what we're looking to be taking part of. That's it about it in a nutshell for the charts. I want to pull up some crypto stuff here real quick that I'm definitely looking at. As everybody knows, I'm a huge proponent of Crow. I like Crow. I like what they're doing. I buy a lot of my ETFs there. They have great art. I like it. I buy ETFs. Not ETFs. Not ETF. What are they called? The little pictures. NFTs. Holy moly! My brain went. Special ed right here. Dude. I was mainstream for I think 1 or 2 classes when I was in special ed, and one was I believe recess, and the other was like for math. But everything else was definitely like special. And so it's like I wonder, like looking back at that, like, well, I wonder what my special ed teachers, if ever this thing gets big, they'll be like, oh, he made it. He's not on the street. Yay for him.
He'll be like this. You're alive.
Yo, in high school, bro, I had a math class, right, that I would take. And I actually figured out, like, we had this guy was, anyways, it doesn't matter. That's exactly, I think that one of the things that they'll do is, I think it was my high school English teacher. I remember I felt so guilty. I cheated on the test, right? It was a vocabulary test, and you had to bring it in. So he gave it to us, and we take it home and bring it back. And he goes, "Don't cheat." So I struggled with this, like legitly struggled. Because I was like, he was such a dope guy. I forget his name, but he was such a dope dude. And I remember, I knew it's just my vocabulary at the time was just shot, and he was pushing me to learn and read, and I was trying, but like I said, like I was special ed, like legit, like. I've talked about me and my counselor in high school literally looking at me and going, dude, you're a retard. You can't you can't shoot. But that's literally what she said, though. That's literally what she said to me.
Thanks, teach.
No, it was one of my counselors. And like literally, like, forgive me. That
back in the day when they could be honest.
Yeah. She goes, well, what it was she asked, did you try? And I go, yeah, I did try. She goes, really? And I said, yeah. And she goes, we can't even read your interest in like what are you and that word. And I was like, no, I just never learned. And so she's like, we got to start you at ESL level, like. And so I literally so I went into these classes, like, Modesto Junior College, baby. Shout out to you guys, man, all you guys out there. I forget exactly where I started, but I think I started at the very beginning because half the people in there didn't know Spanish. Didn't know English. They knew Spanish.
Right.
So it was just like, it was fun. It was cool. Everybody has to start somewhere, man. I remember my foster mom, first time she ever read a thing that I was writing out there, and she looked and she's like, you're getting better at writing. Good job. And I was like, woohoo! So anyways, let's jump back to what we're talking about here. Enough with this craziness. So as we see an expansion of the market, expect pullbacks. And those pullbacks, even though like when you look at, say, the stock market just fell 100 points, right? Or it, you need to look at it as a percentage level, right? Just like with Bitcoin, as Bitcoin continues to expand, we want to see and understand it from percentage levels. Typically, the markets move about 1% to 2% within a day. Normally, that's where, or actually 1% is typically where we see the market move, and it consolidates, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. But in the back end, we just want to make sure that we understand from a step back, look at it as an overall and a percentage level. So I think we're going to start seeing some big numbers here, some big numbers. So It's gonna be fun. All right, let's check out Matic here because I know Mr. Herlihy was
Arg.
no, man, we talked about this, right? I said pick up Matic right here, right? Remember a couple days ago? I said we're selling off, be looking to get some here, right? Do you remember this?
Yes,
And
I did.
and so I picked some up myself. I said we're at a good level here. We could see it fall further, but this is a good level. And so, and I think I made comments also to our viewers here. It's a good area to be picking up. And look, man, it went from 29 to 34, tapping our area right here, which is a previous high. And we're still seeing good volume come in, right, recently. So I'd expect them potentially pull back again, right? Maybe potential back down to that 31 area. Okay, that 31 and 31 to 30 area where the 8-period moving averages, and then pick more, right? Because I think, again, we're going to see Matic here start to find wings, just like the rest of the markets, and or just like the rest of the crypto markets, and start to see it progress. So it's going to be real fun. Mr. Gar over there, CMM Gar, aka Dr. J. Give me another comment over there because I think it'll be fun for us to interact and hopefully see if we can see a pickup of the new viewers over at Rumble.
That's a good
So
point.
what's up, my brother? Shout out to all our new viewers over there over at Rumble. We got 12. Listen, we're a small group of guys just basically trying to make it in this digital world. Y'all can know. Please hit that like, subscribe, all your 12 over there. And also, guys, if you don't mind, please tell us where you're coming from or where you would like to be coming from, as I always say, because the reality is right now, most of us got to do day-to-day jobs and you got to grind. So we're all dreaming of that one place, minus San Diego, on the beach, surfing, baby. Or maybe Gold Coast or Santorini, or Santorina, whatever it is, with the blue, gorgeous area.
You know what they call them on Rumble? They don't call them super chats. They call them rants.
Oh, rants! My dude, you saw me go all excited, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
I clicked the button here and it says, "This rant will stick for 2 minutes."
I love it.
That's so interesting.
All right, guys. So let's also pull into a couple other things here real quick. The other thing I want to talk about here is check out AVAX here. AVAX, again, it's starting to see some legs come in. We're hitting, like I talked about, that 200-day period moving average. We should see some decent movement here. Okay, kind of come back down. So if you want to pick up more again, I'd look to see that $24 mark on AVAX. And then once we kind of pull back here,
what's the actual current price of AVAX?
Oh, it's 27.44.
So 24 is pull it back down to 24 before it goes up again.
Yeah. So that's what I'd be looking to pick up more. Shiba Inu hit our area here that we've talked about. And if you're going to see a pullback, go ahead.
Didn't you already do Shiba?
I did not. We did Shiba yesterday, but Shiba Inu here, and this is like super important as I bring this up here. This is really important because this area, I don't know why, for whatever, it's a sticky area. But we are seeing increase in volume. So it's really interesting to see as we move forward here. We should push through this area of the 4019 through the 4021 area, where then I expect us to see it come back up to that 2940 to the 2850 area. And then again, see it kind of consolidate and push back up as we start to really see this bull run take wings. That's it. I want to check out Crow here for myself. Crow, where are you at? Ooh, nice, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. Hopefully you guys picked up some more Crow at this level. I know I picked some up on Monday. So that was a nice little, wow, they got to check out my wallet. See what's up with that. Yeah, Crow here is popping like it's hot.
That volume pops too.
Yeah, nice little volume here. Nice little pickup. I don't mind it. And additionally to that, you guys can see here, we're about to, that 8 is about to cross that 20. And I like it. Many of you guys know that golden cross is a pretty dope thing. Y'all know, please drop a rant down at Rumble, baby. That's what I'm going to say all the time now. Rant away. All right.
Alpha Wolf says Doge to the moon. What's the price action?
Check out Doge, baby. So Doge here definitely hit our area of supply, came back down a little bit, but it's starting to, again, pull back, right? And then see it continue up. So we talked about it hitting that 32. Once we can pass through that 21 cent area here, and then expect to see it come back and tap up into that 32 cents to the 35 cents area as this thing starts to pick up steam. If it does pull back, this is where you're looking for the pullback at. Down at the level of, I wouldn't say that, maybe potentially, I could be wrong, but we could potentially see it pull back into that 13 cents area. But we'll probably pull back somewhere down at that 8, which is that 16. So you've got a few places there. You got the 16 cents area, and you got that 14-cent area as well, where you can wait for a pullback to get back in and then purchase it even higher or see it go higher from there. Okay, that's about it, my friend.
Alpha thinks it's going to $1 real fast.
Oh man, dude, Alpha, if that baby goes to $1, many of us are.
A lot more millionaires again.
There will be a lot of millionaires. I know a guy who basically bought down here when it was at 5 cents, 4 cents, and put a pretty big penny in it because, you know, he believes what Elon Musk is doing. He really believed that it was going to do really well. He bought high when he hit it, and then he was dollar cost averaging, and he reached out to me, basically said, hey, how far do you think this thing will go? And I go, it could potentially come down to that 4 cent to that 2 cent area here we talked about. But I go, if you're going to be buying it, I definitely am bullish it between 3 or from 2 cents to really like 4 cents, 5 cents. Like those are the areas that you really want to be buying. And I think that would potentially be the lows there, comparative to what we could see. And, you know, I don't think we're going, because I think, well, I didn't know he was going to really use it but he was a huge proponent for Doge to be used in Mars and in the ecosystem that Elon Musk is building. And I know that he went in big here. I think he's probably gonna, if this thing even gets to 60 cents, you know what I'm saying? He's I don't know. I mean, he's a smart guy. He makes good money already. He's got a lot of disposable income, and so he's been buying through the bear market here, all for Doge. I mean, he went all in on Doge. So, and now I understand why. I mean, with everything that is going on with Musk and everything that he's done, like Doge is going to be the baby, you know. And what was it? He named the government initiative Doge or something like that.
Department of Government Efficiency.
I thought that was hilarious. I was just like, I heard they talk about. I didn't even know about it. Until Bloomberg was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, what is up with that? And then again, I didn't catch the government efficiency because I didn't realize the acronym there. And then so I looked it up, and I was like, holy crap, that is epic. And so every time you hear Doge, now on the, you know, it's just going to, I think it was brilliant. You talk about a parlay of like, dude, you have literally Bloomberg talking about Doge without him having to actually pay for the advertisement, which I think is brilliant. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I just thought it was brilliant.
Tripping.
Forgive me,
right,
guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the show here. Oh, I didn't get the picture. Oh, it was so good.
What was the picture?
I was doing a screen capture of us. So I was going to post it as, you know, having a good time on the show today. Oh yeah. I did get it.
Oh, good. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's check out what's happening for the last little thing here. So
I turned the charts off now. We're not going back to it.
All right, no going back. All right, again, guys, want to shout out to Rumble there for a minute. Thank you, guys. We see a spiking with you guys. Listen, all you new guys who are checking us out, who just recommended by Rumble, we are a small YouTube channel / Rumble channel. We're trying to grow. We talk about everything under the sun when it comes to crypto in relationship to large geopolitical moves, which right now is the overlay and undertone that we're seeing that's moving the market. We know that Trump is really big into crypto. We also know that he's going to really be pushing the narrative of crypto. So we're going to be really walking through step to step, seeing the policies, everything that he's doing from a geopolitical move, because most people don't realize that China, Russia, North Korea have their own blockchains where they're circumventing a lot of stuff that's actually happening through blockchain and their own cryptos. So people don't realize how much the world is actually being controlled by the narrative of crypto. And so we're going to be going over, we go over that stuff. Many of our viewers know we go over that stuff. And so a lot of you new guys there that are just joining us, please come along every single day. We have a 2-hour show. I think we're funny, but some, come check out some.
Well, let's just admit it. We're definitely funny. And we're entertaining and we're educational. Yeah. So we are edutainment.
Edutainment. Hey. But come check us out. Think you guys like. Please follow us, like us, and also hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? That does help. That little thumbs up. Hey. Right? Like do this right here. Hit the heart. No, how do you do the heart? I forget how all these kids do it, man. They were like this. I saw these kids coming together. Like they were literally walking down the street and they're doing this. I'm thinking, are they throwing out the crypt sign? You know what I'm saying? Like they throwing crypt, right? And they're doing this, and I see them, and then they come together, and I can see it because the sun. And I was like, oh, they're doing the heart thing. So please hit the thumbs up button over there and the little heart button. That would help us out. And if you want to give us a rant, please give us a rant. We always appreciate that as well. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. And tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow, bud?
Friday. Be on the X Spaces tomorrow. That's all I can think about.
Nice.
What do we got going on? Oh, yeah. Jerome Powell out there talking on this little thing. If you want to watch it, it's live on YouTube. Just search it.
Definitely.
We sit here and cover it, but we've been on the air a long time ago. We've got to get out in the real world. Now this is the real world now.
Yeah, man. We're actually in the real world now. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see as we start to progress what will happen. It's going to be even more interesting to see what is going to happen with the rest of the world now that America is in crypto and is really going to start progress. Well, we're not. We're kind of sitting on the forefront of the bridge there until he gets in office. But it's really going to be interesting to see how the world tries to front run America while you have this 2-month period before he gets into office.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really going to be something that's going to be really interesting. We know that his family has created what's called the Freedom Token?
World Liberty Coin.
Liberty Coin. We know that they're pushing that, and so we're going to be definitely start covering that more and seeing what's going on with the developments of that. So if that's something you guys, if you're into, if you understand Trump and what he's trying to do there with him and his family, it's something that you can come in and keep checking with us, and we're going to be going over a lot of that and potential ways to actually make money as I'm looking into markets, waiting for pullbacks, but either or.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to rock and roll here. Thanks to everyone for watching here today. I really appreciate it. As always, we'll see you tomorrow on Full Rant Friday on X. Make sure you pay attention. 12:15 to 12:30. It's always on the roll at 12:30.
Yep.
Up to you to when you want to start it.
East Coast.
Look for Pedro leading the charge in the X Spaces tomorrow. Once again, everybody, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. On behalf of my friend Pedro Garcia and myself here, have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.